GameOn presents Dave Prowse.
So I'm here with the man behind the mask, Dave Prowse. What's it like to be the most powerful man in the galaxy?
Wonderful. I love it. I love every minute of it.
Do you have a sense of power and control when you wear the mask and the cape and the whole uniform?
Well, I haven't had it on for 30 years. I don't have a suit and a mask and all the rest of it at home. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, it's something I did 1976 to 1980 over this 5 years. And it's long ago. I mean, now I just come to all these shows and meet all the fans that love what I did. But I mean, I got no pretensions about being the character of Darth Vader itself. You know, not after all this time. No, I'm Dave Prowse. You know. Yeah.
Because you always had the mask on, people might not recognize you. Do you like to point to somebody, be like nudge, like, hey, that's me, I'm Darth Vader?
No. I can get sufficient recognition without all that. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Probably. Do you miss it all at all, like wearing the uniform?
No, not so. Well, yeah. How can you miss it? You do 3 films, and that's it. I mean, we're talking about, as I said, 40, 35 years ago.
But they're some of the best movies ever.
Yeah, well, it's still something you do, and I mean, I was on each of the films. I think I was on Star Wars for about 6 weeks. I was on Empire Strikes Back for probably about the same sort of period, and Return of the Jedi for probably about a month. You know, so they're just a very, very small part of a very fantastic career that I've had. You know,
was that the favorite role that you've done, or is there one that you liked more?
I think it's given me a lot more than any of the other roles I've done. But no, I've done some. You know, I did 3 great films for Hammer. I did The Horror of Frankenstein, Monster from Hell, Vampire Circus, Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange. Now, that was probably the most pivotal film in my career. Yeah, because I mean, through Clockwork Orange, I suddenly became sort of Dave Prowse actor, and opened the whole wide world to me, you know. And then, luckily for me, George Lucas saw Clockwork Orange years in 1971 or 72. We did it in 70, and he saw it in 1971. Remembered me for 5 years, and then came to England and offered me Chewbacca first, and I turned it down. And then offered me he said, "How would you like to play the big villain of the film?" I said, "Yes, please."
And James Earl Jones voices the character. But
this gets on my nerves about talking about James Earl Jones's voice and everything else. What happened was I did the voice all the way through all 3 movies, but everything I was saying was coming through the mask. So it was no good for reproduction purposes. And the whole premise was, or the whole idea was, at the end of the movie, I was going to go into the sound studios and re-record all Darth Vader's dialogue. All right, that was the idea. But what happened was, they got to the end of the movie, chased back to America because they couldn't get all the special effects while they, in the UK. And while they were in America, they then had to make a decision, because they were going to make a decision as to whether to fly me all the way from London out to Hollywood to do the overdubbing, and it might possibly not being right, or alternatively employ the very best voiceover artist in the world, James Earl Jones, and know that they were going to get everything correct. And so obviously it was financially wrong. It was financially impossible to get me over there, not impossible, but it was uneconomical. And James did a super job.
You're listening to Game On
Tremble in fear at our 3 different types of ships
on GameOnTrain.com.